Do you love going out there and trying to hire new employees and contractors? Because it is fun. Oh, yeah. Boss to boss style. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. It's Miro Wislow today. That has always been my name, but now we are pronouncing it as Wislow. So yeah, that's right. That's right. Wislow. Thanks so much, everybody. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in, being here. One quick thing, if I could ask all of you, please check us out on iTunes. If you do listen to iTunes, if you don't, if you have an iPhone, it takes a second. Just search Boss 2, the number 2, Boss, and subscribe to our show. Scroll down, leave us a review. Hopefully, 4 or 5 stars. Because we do the amazing work that I know you love. But we're always looking to get better. We are looking to get better, and we want to know your thoughts and what you feel about the show. And also, I am offering some coaching sessions as well. If you're interested in learning, to quit your job, to start up a business, the ins and outs, the beginning few steps, and maybe running a podcast, a successful podcast, please let me know. Contact me. My email is miro@boss, the number 2, boss.com, or just go on my Facebook, boss2boss, our website.com. Send us an email request to let us know. But today's episode, we're going to talk about 10 ways to hire employees and contractors. So running my business, Hodgepodge, I've gone through a lot of employees. There's a lot of turnover. It's very seasonal. Winter, it slows down. There's always so many people that want to work all of a sudden because there's not enough jobs out there. And during the summer, there's always a shortage because we are competing with all types of industries. Being in the moving, removal, decluttering, storage space, with people having to drive and do labor, physical labor, there's going to be a need for these kind of employees everywhere. And I think personally, there's a shortage now. There's definitely a shortage from what I heard from like back in the days. Sorry, excuse me. My dad telling me how everybody, and just like other stories about how people couldn't find jobs and you're willing to take anything and do anything. I mean, nowadays it seems like at times there's not enough good employees out there, so it's hard to find the right ones. People come and go a lot, but through my challenges and through my learnings, I have some wisdom to share with everybody. And here we are. Here are my 10 ways to hire employees and contractors, with me breaking down which one I like a little bit more or less. Without further ado, let's start with going from 10 back down to 1. So number 10, post flyers. I personally did this one time. I believe I posted a flyer at a store. I don't think it ever worked. I might have had like one person call, but I think that's more if you want to really, really strategically plan it out. I think it works maybe more with immigrants or people that aren't as prone, maybe older generation folk that aren't as prone to using other sources, methods of communication. Not to say that they don't, but flyers is definitely an option. It's more old school, but I believe I've heard from other people that it works. I think it's something I just need to give more of a try. Number 9, posting job posts on your website or your social media accounts. I mean, this one I think is a no-brainer. It's your website are where people that like your business or are looking at it or find it on Google will come to. So if it's up there on your website, somebody's already doing some research about you. They like you. They like your company. They want to know more about it. They want to work for it. Boom. No brainer. I've had a couple of people apply like that through our website, and those were some of the better hires or better candidates, I would say. I'm not going to say hires for sure, because I've had better spots actually for that, but really good candidates, because those people have kind of looked into you and researched you. And social media as well. Definitely Facebook. I wouldn't say Instagram is necessarily the best for this, but like link, I don't want to go too further ahead of myself, but yeah, I'm sticking with Facebook. I was about to mention LinkedIn, but it's a whole nother topic I'm going to get to later. So number 8, staffing agencies. Depending on what kind of industry you're in, there's definitely a staffing agency for you. There's a lot out there. You could just Google it. I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not over here trying to promote any specific agency. as I don't use them. I personally don't like the fee structure. They take a good amount of money, especially in an industry like mine where there's high turnover and they take like, the first couple paychecks or percentage off every check. And you don't even know if that person's going to stay on for more than a month or two. I think if it's more concrete positions, like not to say anything with my industry isn't, but if it's more like a job where someone usually stays for a few years, whereas the average lifespan here might be 6 months to 12 months. It might make more sense to pay that extra money for the staffing agencies because they do the homework for you. They know where to go. This is their job. This is what they do. So there are staffing agencies out there that do this as a career, as their life. So be sure to talk to them and look at them up. Number 7, recruiters. Recruiters are essentially like staffing agencies, but it could be a person, it could be someone specifically working there under a staffing agency. So it's kind of like talking to a person. There's a lot of them on, I would say, LinkedIn. They're on some social media. People will reach out to you, a headhunter, someone that's it's very similar. There's a lot of cross, a recruiter is technically probably someone who works for a staffing agency as well. They could be working on their own. They could classify them as a recruiter because they're different, because maybe they're not staffing, maybe they're not providing you like a full staff at any given moment, but they might be more specialized. Say you need like an executive or some kind of managerial position that a staffing agency might not fill, because a staffing agency might be more like temp workers or workers to fill a position like a sales role, or someone to do an accounting task, something maybe more specialized. That would be more staffing agency, whereas a recruiter would be more of a specialized position, like a manager in this operations role for this transportation company, or this photographer oversight director person. You know what I mean? Moving on, number 6, LinkedIn. LinkedIn should be higher on my list. I think it just came to me a little later, but LinkedIn is beautiful. It's amazing. You could just go there and search, for careers. There's endless possibilities on LinkedIn. Everybody, essentially, you could apply for jobs now. As a recruiter, you could post as a hirer or an employer. You can post your job listings there. I personally have not used LinkedIn, so I can't give you the ins and outs. It's just not my preferred method for my type of industry, my job type. I know where my employee is, and I'm learning more and more over time. And they're usually not on LinkedIn unless I'm searching maybe for some kind of different role. So I might in the future, but knowing people that use it, LinkedIn is great. A lot of options. I know there's I'm pretty sure they charge you as well from what I know. Moving on to number 5, your employees. Your employees are a great source. Offer them incentives. That's another way to get them to get them thinking of bringing in other friends, because sometimes employees get scared that if their friend is better, then they might get fired. Or it's actually the opposite, because if there's more of, then you're kind of depending on that employee because they brought in a friend, maybe another friend. This is a very valuable person. They have resources. They are connected. If you fire them, for example, then you're risking their friends might leave too. So you kind of have to let employees know, your people that are already there, that bringing in other people actually helps your case. Maybe you offer them $50 or $100. I don't something like that. It could be a little bonus, $20 bonus on their next check if they bring someone in and you end up hiring them. That's a good way, and it's a good way for the people that are there to have friends on the job and bring in others that essentially make you stand out more. So definitely something strong to communicate to your employees. That's how I've brought in some of my best my best teammates here at Hodgepodge, is through through telling the employees to bring in some friends. And who doesn't like working with friends, right? It it makes jobs and work a little funner. Number 3, going to hiring events. There's all types of events out there. There's free events, there's job fairs, career fairs, you name it. You can Google it. You can search them. If you're part of different communities, like different chambers that I'm part of, they always have all types of job fairs. reach out to the libraries and the governmental associations, small business advocates, small business advocate council. There's all types of career fairs, job fairs, and there you're going to get a mixed bag. You're going to get everything. Usually a good crowd, and it's usually a pretty good return on investment as well. Number two, go into college hiring events. Also, like going to job fairs, except this is more strategically planned towards getting people, when they're younger, getting them earlier before they become too expensive, while you still have the opportunity to train them yourself, essentially, the skills that you want them to know, instead of just later on, going and picking through what people already know. You're here kind of, nurturing, kind of bringing someone up. And a lot of times it's free as long as you're connected to one of these colleges, which colleges love, people to come. I mean, they're not always free. Sometimes there is some kind of charge because you do take up some space, and otherwise everybody would do it. So yeah, the couple that I've done, I guess, it depends, how connected you are. I think couple were free, couple weren't, but at the end of the day, they usually are pretty good because college students are hungry. They are hungry. It depends what kind of work it is for. It didn't work out for me as much. It did for like interns. I think for interns, it's great. So especially if you're looking to maybe get some free labor, if you have a startup, if you have a younger business and you're looking for that free labor, just to kind of help you out in the very beginning. Not to say that I'm an advocate of free labor. I'm all about paying, but when you're a startup and you're struggling, and you are over here, this means you're devoting time to teaching that person too. I mean, it's like free school because you're devoting a lot of time to teaching that person. I think it's amazing. I did free internships as well when I was younger. Like I know what it's like, and I think it's a great opportunity because you get yourself out there, you get yourself known, and you're being trained and taught things as if you were going to class. But here you are, and eventually that could turn into a huge job opportunity. And I actually offered someone a job like that. They were my marketing associate. She's only part-time now, but that's how it happened. She did an internship for us, and it was amazing. So that's definitely one way as well to go about it. And last but not least, number one for me has been websites such as Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster, and there's a ton of other ones out there. There's a gazillion actually. I like personally, my number one has been ZipRecruiter, and that's because they combine a whole bunch of other websites, like hundreds, I guess, supposedly. So your listing, once you put it out there, it reaches a lot of people, and you could like very specify exactly what you want, who you want, when, what, how. They can answer questions to get pre-screened prior. It does cost money. It's usually a couple hundred a month, and you get like 3 postings. But obviously, if you don't like one, you could delete them. You could switch them out. I think 3's plenty, unless you're like a huge corporation or something, and you got to hire a lot of different people at once. But at that point, paying an extra couple $100 is probably no big deal. It's been great for me because I just feel it pulls. I tried Indeed, maybe because I didn't put enough money into it, but I was getting a lot of like they claim. Personally, for me, it just didn't work out. They claim they have the most amount of people using their site, but I kept getting a lot of people that were ghosts, weren't there, their numbers didn't work, or they didn't show up to interviews. I don't know, but with ZipRecruiter, I feel like I've been getting a little bit more high quality. That's just me though. There's different sites for different things. That's just the one that's worked for me, and I've had by far the most hirings, probably besides the family and friends that um, that work as well. Actually, I think I skipped that one. Family and friends, that's another one. That was number 4. Not sure if I mentioned that one, but family and friends was one more on the list. That's a great one as well. Anybody that could be a friend of yours personally or through a family member, they will probably work a little harder. There's a little bit more on the line. So that's definitely a good avenue to go. And if hopefully it doesn't cause any drama, that's definitely a downfall of it. So you gotta thread lightly with that one. But that's my that kind of sums it up. 10 ways to hire employees and contractors based on my personal experiences, what's worked for me, what hasn't. Hope one of these helps you. Let me know if you ever want to talk about them more. Be sure to hit us up. Hit me up, Miro at boss2boss.com. That's your website as well, boss2boss.com. Thank you so much all for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Hope you crush the rest of your week. I mean, I know you will. Talk to you soon. Peace.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit boss2boss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.